Hi everyone. Today's reading for the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus went to his hometown and his disciples accompanied him. With the coming of the Sabbath, he began teaching in the synagogue, and most of them were astonished when they heard him. They said, "Where did the man get all this? What is this wisdom that has been granted him, and these miracles that are worked through him? This is the carpenter, surely, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and Jude and Simon. His sisters too, are they not here with us?" And they would not accept him. And Jesus said to them, "A prophet is only despised in his own country, among his own relations, and in his own house. He could work no miracle there, though he cured a few sick people by laying his hands on them. He was amazed at their lack of faith." The Gospel of the Lord. This Saturday afternoon, we've had the annual time of Marian devotions, which take place once a year with the Filipino community. Big gathering of people come to the church, finish with Mass after a couple of hours of devotion. And it got me thinking about this whole thing we have as Catholic Christians with Mary. We don't worship Mary, only God deserves worship. But we do honour Mary, and we highly honour her. Why do we do that? Simply because of this. One of the key aspects of our Catholic Christian faith is that God came down to us. That is the revolutionary claim of Christianity. Other religions try and reach up to God, and we believe in God coming down to us. And how did he come down to us? In one sense, ordinary of ways. The ways in which we come into the world, are born into the world. He did it through Mary. He was the fruit of her womb, delivered and born into our world like each and every one of us. That's an amazing claim that we have, a truth that we proclaim to others about how God connects and makes himself available to us. Because of this, then, Mary has a very special role. We honour her because through her this has happened. Through her, God becomes visible to us. This visibility, this taking on our humanity, flesh and blood, a body just like us, is a wonderful core belief of our Christian faith. But when you're on the outside of it, it can actually be a bit of a stumbling block. And I say this in the light of our gospel today. Jesus goes back to his hometown of Nazareth. He's there back in the synagogue he would have been in every Sunday, Sabbath day before. He's with people who've known him, seen him grow up, seen him get taller and stronger, seen him with Mary and Joseph and his wider family as the gospel relates. But now he's come back in a very different way. He's claiming to be the Messiah. And they can see the extra wisdom he has, that authority that goes with it. They've heard a lot about miracles. Some have maybe seen some of the miracles. But there's this block there. We knew him before. And as far as they're concerned, they can't accept it. It says they did not accept him. And Jesus obviously would have, talked this through to a certain extent, but he was amazed at their lack of faith. He said, why is it? And how is it that the prophet is not accepted in his own country? So when we think of what was going on in their heads, his ordinariness before his ministry started was the block for them. He's one of us. He's one of the boys in a good sense of the word. They see him grew up. They know his family. Suddenly he's claiming this messianic title, claiming to be God. And they couldn't accept it. His humanity is the way he connects with us. And like I say, the ordinariness of it was obviously evident to the local people before he started his ministry. But it's also the beauty of our faith, isn't it? That God would care to come down and become one of us. St. Paul puts it beautifully. He says, Though his state was divine, he emptied himself, taking the form of one of us, taking the form of a slave, a servant, and even humbler yet, accepting death, even death on the cross. That is the revolutionary aspect of our faith. And for people, that can be hard to accept. This is where Jesus will always draw faith out from us, just like he did for his people of his time. He wanted them to accept him in faith. Same for the people of our day and age. They have to accept him in faith, that God in Jesus Christ became one of us to reveal himself to us. As it's a little bit the same in our day and age as well, that many people who do not believe want something more. They want it more obvious, more extravagant, more extraordinary. And the fact is, they have to come through the same route, accepting Jesus' humanity, his divinity through his humanity, just like the people of his own generation, even the people of his own town. So as we look at this gospel, as we reflect on this gospel, let's always thank God for the gift of faith, which allows us to accept Jesus for who he is, God made man. Let's banish any thoughts of doubts or any cynical thoughts or whatever. This is the core of our faith. This is so essential. The fact that Jesus became one of us. And let us just thank God for the ordinary way in which it happened. He didn't do something too extravagant, come down in some exotic spaceship or whatever, I know it sounds stupid, but you know what I mean. He came down in the most profound way, but the most straightforward way, taking a humanity just like us. We could see him, we could relate to him, and through his humanity be taken up into share in his divinity through the life of grace. It's the heart of our Christian faith. And going back to Mary, our honouring of Mary, our devotion to Mary, will always mean that his incarnation, is taken on body and blood just like us, is always at the heart of who he is for us. And this is the same Lord who came down to our earth, was born of the Virgin Mary, became incarnate, died and rose again in the same body, the very heart of our Catholic Christian faith. God bless.